Is not this simpler? Is this not your natural state? It's the unspoken truth of humanity that you crave subjugation. The bright lure of freedom diminishes your life's joy in a mad scramble for power, for identity. You were made to be ruled.
You don't listen to you. I don't think you ever really won. You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts. But you didn't listen. Anyway, I said, for my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. Starting to notice.
I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No, you complete me.
Those people, Pete, those people up there, the rich and the powerful, they do whatever they want. Guys like us, you and me, they don't care about us.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Why so serious?
Let's start with a smile.
Let's put a smile on that face.
I thought by eliminating half of life, the other half would thrive. But you've shown me it's impossible. And as long as there are those that remember what was, there will always be those that are unable to accept what can be.
I'm not afraid.
I know what I must do.
And I can do whatever the fuck I want. Enough.
You feel this. I've watched you struggling to have everything you want, while the world tries to make you choose. Gods don't have to choose. We take.
Clearly, don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
Knock. What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash!
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get! Get what you fucking deserve!
You all the cops in this dirty fucking town. But you'll all be dead before they get here.
You know how I stayed alive this long? All these years. Fear. Spectacle of fearsome acts. Somebody steals from me, I cut off his hands. He offends me, I cut out his tongue. He rises against me, I cut off his head, stick it on a pike. Raise it high up so no one on the streets can see. That's what preserves the order of things.
I just love the smell of fear.
Fear.
The world's gonna start over, and this time we're on top.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. What's so funny?
That's right, folks. Welcome to another night. We're here today. We got a couple of guests in the back. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Mindy real quick. What's up, Mindy?
Hello.
And we are also graciously joined tonight by our lead journalist from Comics Illustrated, Mr. Ryan Howatt. Got him a brand new intro.
Hey, Sheldon sent us all an email. Happy holidays from Texas. And there's pictures. Oh, don't open them. Do not open them.
Oh, come on. Childbirth is a natural, beautiful... Oh, it's like someone sawed a cow in half.
My father's a gynecologist. I think I can handle it. And now I'm gay.
What's up, Ryan?
Fuck hell, man. Well, it's gotta be the Big Bang Theory. That's my biggest concern.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh, come on.
That's the exact scene I was thinking of when I read that Facebook post of yours the other week.
I love that show. We were so tight. We were such good friends. Anyway, I'm gonna let that one slide. No, things are good. Things are good for sure. I just finally got around to hearing that long phone call from the printer with that whole Polito bullshit with them not wanting to print your book because they thought it was going to cause bad blood with the other book. I kind of wish that whole call had just been like in this live stream. It probably would have been boring. It wouldn't have been a good way to start.
Well, we actually had it in our live stream yesterday. So,
I was busy.
Yeah.
And then Larry decided to come on after the fact and start EFAPing our video to that, And yeah, that guy.
Larry.
And, it's so weird. That's kind of what the topic of the stream is tonight. The Great Divide is at 2016 again already. The divide in indie comics has become so polarized. You're either like for something or against something, and there's like no middle ground anymore. There's no common sense. There's no reason. There's no there's no discussion. Two adults can't talk to each other without finding a polar opposite, and then not only finding that polar opposite, but doubling down on it, separating, completely getting a bad attitude towards each other, and then dragging each other through the mud for the next several months, weeks, even years at a time. Years, John, years, as Larry says.
Years. Shit lasts for fucking years.
And we've been going at it with Larry for 4 years. We've been going at it with the Polito crowd for 10 fucking years. John.
You guys were good with Larry for like a minute. I remember that. That was like
he called it.
That was an interesting week.
he called a truce. I still haven't broken that truce, to be honest with you. I just politely declined to go on his show. I said, I don't think that, I trust you fully. I think that you're, I don't think it serves me any purpose going on your show. And then, he comes out later on that night and he says, you're right. It was me. I'm the one that tipped off Polito. I sent this image to him and asked him if it was a little bit too close. And I'm like, well, that's great, dude. You just made him overreact and make a fool out of himself in front of the entire comic book community. Congratulations. I'm sure he's going to reciprocate that well to you. Because that's kind of what it is, in my opinion.
So I'm going to, because like I mentioned before when we were backstage, we wasted a lot of time backstage. I'm sorry, everybody. When we were backstage, I mentioned like the Polito's project, and I'm not here to plug it by any means, but just like the Lady Death thing, like I cannot fucking get away from it. Like who is his publisher?
He
Him.
is.
He
Had Lady Death for a long
Yes, dude.
time. Yeah, and he's
He
No, I
owns
think I did
Coffin
know that.
Comics, and he is a publisher. He puts out his own stuff. Yeah, he has
Okay.
for
Yeah.
years now, John. Years.
Hmm.
Yeah, we were there back in 2015, doing
Yeah.
a live stream of his very first Kickstarter campaign out of Jesse James's comic shop. We were there. We started
Yeah, it
this
might have been-
shit.
Because I think
We
like,
were the
2014.
first ones with a big name creator doing a Kickstarter on a live stream on Facebook, watching the fucking numbers go up, filming him, talking to
Yeah.
him, interviewing him. We were right there when all of this shit started.
that's insane, man. Because like it's like fuck, man. Like when I say I can't get away from it, like that Lady Death is a fucking video game now. Like at what point? Like parody not
Yeah,
only
but
should
to
be
be honest,
expected.
it's a shitty video game. It's
Who cares?
fucking
I mean,
side scrolling.
obviously,
Yeah, I get it.
obviously, sorry, that sucked. The consumer definitely cares. But I'm saying like, at that level of attention, that level of popularity, like not only should parody be expected, it should be fucking embraced, especially by somebody who's I would go out on a limb and say like a friend, at least at one point. Like,
well, you know, the majority, what's even funnier is like the majority of his covers that he's done over the years, he has done more parody and homage
I've seen
covers
that.
than he has done regular covers, I believe.
that's the way the game works. That's just it.
I'm
We-
pretty
we all
sure
do
he's
it.
been
We all
homaged
fucking do that.
himself.
Polito started his career in the early 90s, okay? So this is Polito's
Okay.
career. And then he wrote with, and it's funny because some of the early publishers he worked with, some of what they did were parodies. Gonads, the Barbarian, was one of the titles they put out. So he should be familiar with it, that it's a thing, going back to the beginning of his career. And then
Yeah,
he
that's the
started
weird one.
Chaos. I'm pretty sure I got all these details right, but I may be off on a thing or two. But it became at one point the fourth largest publisher in America, and they've always sold the sort of bad girl, sexy stuff. And I've read the first Lady Death, but actually no, I couldn't get past like the first page because I thought it was actually really fucking horrible. It was
I
like this
haven't read any of
long,
them.
big ass story, and it was kind of known for being a really like sexually sort of bloody. I don't know, just sort of like basically women in the smallest thing doing the goriest, weirdest shit. And I don't think it's ever really changed from that. Like there was a rape scene where Lady Death raped a teenage boy. I think he was in one of their campaigns over the past couple of years. So it's always been like really fucking kind of weird. But it captured a lot of attention in the 90s, being the fourth largest publisher. Now it got ran down into the fucking ground, is what everybody says, at least when when people talk about it, they'll post about it. I'm not even in instigating. I'll see them say this. He pissed off people a lot on the East Coast, I think he was at, and people lost a lot of money. That's why they're mad. They'll post about it because Chaos had a huge bankruptcy. I have heard, though I do not know if it is confirmed, that he was even in a divorce. I don't know that detail, but it was a pretty bad, messy thing, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. And then he kind of went on a hiatus. He lost all of his rights.
Adam Hughes was his main artist, and like he ended up owing the family of Adam Hughes a shit ton of money that he never fucking paid. I think.
Fuck off! No,
I swear to God, dude. Like I was.
All
reading
right.
about
No,
this.
I trust you guys. When you guys bring this shit to me, yeah, you guys don't pull this out of your ass.
Adam Hughes.
I didn't know about that, Adam Hughes. But
Brian Polito family. Dude, it's
I am a little.
Steven or Adam?
I am a little familiar with Chaos. Like I know I can see the logo in my head, and like I know I've got shit in my own personal long box of stamp that has Chaos on it. I don't remember where the hell it came from. I can't name any of them, but I know it's in there.
There's another artist that started that homage cover, that very first Lady Death cover, the artist on that, and I have heard again through the grapevine. This is something I kind of wanted to dig into, maybe even write an article about. So I don't have the actual.
It's not Adam Hughes. Who is the Hughes?
Are you thinking of Steven? No, I think
Stephen
you're thinking of
Hughes.
Stephen. Yes, and he died. And I have again heard, don't know, would like to do research on this, that he kind of left their estate high and dry. He like maybe he's owed money or something. Anyways, there's sort of like bad blood.
There
It
was
seems.
all kinds of shit about Chaos. Like
Yeah.
the main Adam Hughes, he died of cancer
Not
in
Adam.
2000. Or no,
Steve.
Stephen Hughes.
Steve.
Stephen Hughes, he died of cancer back in like 2000. Al Rio committed suicide like 6 or 8 years ago, something like that. Justiano, he got convicted for fucking child porn.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. That's...
Yeah, there is a bunch of shit about like the fucking old school Chaos Comics crew. Like, I mean,
Wow.
this shit goes back. Yeah, you don't even know all this shit, Mindy. Like, I know shit you don't even know.
No, I don't. But I know it was a really, really sort of like dumpster on fire bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And then it really seems that must have been the case, because he went on hiatus for about 12 to 13 years, and then he came back right about the time that we met him. And he even says it on his website. He's like, oh, I made a mistake, or I made mistakes. Chaos went to the ground or whatever. And he spent 12 to 13 years in hiatus. And he lost all of his properties except for Lady Death, which he bought back, I think. And I believe there was litigation between him and his publisher where he was suing the publisher or something to that degree to try to get Lady Death back. Again, I'm sorry if I'm incorrect on some of these details, but that's online. You can find information on that litigation online. But apparently, and the people justify it now. The people that are diehard Polito fans that want to suck his dick and all that, who have been attacking us in this process with the cease and desist, have justified his cease and desist by saying, "Oh well, he has just really deep feelings about his character, and he's very protective because he lost."
Yeah, he's self-publishing. He's pulling that Dave Sim card, right? Of course, he's neurotic. He's self-publishing, like we all are. Fuck off. We're not doing this, right? Yeah.
And so it's okay for him to go around and censor and bully others in their eyes. Like he could do no wrong.
Right?
Someone even told me that he should be considered sacred, or his books should be considered sacred. Not that long ago. It's like, okay.
You can either well, that's just it, right? You gotta separate like the artist from like the business manager. They're two completely separate people. Like Buddy that's fucking pulling left and rights and trying to shut down other people's projects is not the same artiste that's sitting there and pouring his soul onto a piece of paper. Like that's just something you have, that even like, I don't want to be a dick, but even the audience has to separate that at some point. Like the guy who's making these decisions as to what needs to go where and who needs to essentially suffer for the sake of profit, like it can't be the same fucking person. It just doesn't work that way.
Well,
I can't
I have heard also that he's a dickhead to work with, maybe over controlling. I always thought of him as a pimp. I'm gonna be honest. I always did. Being in Arizona, he's like everywhere. And I went into a printer once. By the way, this employee at the printer, not Ready Comics, was I believe he had been arrested and convicted of having some kind of child porn or something. Like this was a thing. And I found that out, and it was really weird. And so I started to I didn't go to that printer anymore. But there was a community of people that supported him. And they're the same people that are like in the crowd that attack us now. This whole like child porn thing has been underlying it for years. And we have been not for it. And they have been for it. Not saying Coffin specifically, but I know people in that area, especially surrounding this printer. I remember that instance. And I remember thinking, holy shit, that's weird. I am not going to go back there. But it was in that one printer. I walked in and it was all Lady Death stuff on the table. They'd been printing it. And I just kind of a light bulb went off in my head. I was looking around the table because it was all art books. It was like art book of this, art book of Lady Death, and it was all these artists' work. And I did the numbers in my head, and I was like, he paid this much money, and he's selling this much. He's like a pimp. He's like pimping these artists out. Where is his original thought in all of these books? Like Lady Death is the same. And in fact, Lady Death is, I think, a ripoff, straight up ripoff of Tarna from Heavy Metal. They look almost exactly the same. And he even says in his Kickstarter profile on Coffin that it's Heavy Metal inspired. He's even done homages to Tarna from Heavy Metal. She looks the exact fucking same.
I've seen those.
So it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's I don't think he has a lot of original ideas. I don't think he's a very original guy. I think he finds things and he rides on them. I think that's it. You know, I think he had Evil Ernie. That's great. But even Evil Ernie, someone said, shit, I gotta go back and find that. There is discrepancies that Evil Ernie came from somewhere else. I think I'll
I
have
was
to look
trying to
into that
find
one.
that source
Oh.
that was talking about Stephen Hughes and him getting owed or how he was owed some money from Brian, and I couldn't find it. I remember it was in the bankruptcy filings. An article about that. It was about Stephen's wife trying to get the his portion of the money from Lady Death or something, and that he never did. I don't know the details, but I mean I know it was.
There's no
I
winning
read it.
there. I've been down that road. There's really no winning there. that's a
No.
can of worms I wouldn't dare open myself.
But yeah,
That's
like
shitty when he's
bringing
making
it
as
back,
much money as.
bringing it back. It's really crazy how like in this sphere now that there is a divide when it comes to people. Like there's like a polar opposite thing. Like last night I was watching Larry EFAP us, and it's like his entire fan base was just completely saying just the complete opposite of what we would say, or talk about. Like we would counterpoint like, hey, we have this point in regards to the phone call or whatever, and they would be like on the complete opposite side, like it's clown world,
Yeah.
it's. And then they would, well, you got to have a modicum of professionality and stuff. When have I ever like declared to be a professional anything? Like that's my number one. And I mean, if we were professionals, what are we doing in indie comics? Like we're the antithesis of professionals. We're not even, we don't even have like, it's not even a real job. We're not employed by a major publishing house or any of that.
Not only that, but when it particularly became, first and foremost, I don't know if you're fishing or not, but I'm going to give it to you. As far as like agreements made on the back end and being told these are the terms, this is what I expect, and this is what's going to come of it, and I'm either going to follow with you or not, depending on whether those are met. You guys are fucking fantastic at that. Now, what I also heard from that phone call you guys had with the printer, it was a lot of, oh, well, this is the way that it is. You guys didn't know that, but no, it's their job to fucking tell you that's what that's supposed to be. I know this doesn't have much to do with like the political divide of the fan bases and all that other war shit like that, but I really think there's a professional relationship with the printer that you guys had this argument with Polito with. You definitely were in the right.
We have been using this printer for 10 years. 10 years we've been doing business with this. Swear to God. Isn't that a handy piece of information?
Yeah.
They printed Mindy's first sketchbook back in fucking 2015, dude.
Jesus Christ.
We have been with this printer
for
10 fucking years.
And I don't know if it
as
was
Polito.
yeah. It was my first prints. I don't know if it was my sketchbook, but it was my prints for sure.
Well, they also
they
printed your sketchbook as well. They printed the first round of those before we bought the printer that did it.
Oh, maybe so.
They did.
That's insane.
Okay.
But
without trying
to completely detract and just focus on that phone call, which don't give me like I'm stuck on it. This printer, so it's the same printer that Coffin's using, the printer that you guys
has used and still has a relationship with. They actually bought Polito's old building and moved into it.
That's what I was wondering. So it was the same printer that they were using with Chaos? Yes. Okay. Fuck. Those are deep.
Yeah, right?
Those are deep fucking tangled roots.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Right, that's lots of money in exchange we're talking about, and that's the thing that I as soon as I got off that phone call, I turned to Mike and I said, "You know what the difference is between our printer in Ohio and Ready Comics?" He said, "What?" I said,
"Our
printer in Ohio isn't friends with Polito."
Nah.
The one in
That's
Ohio,
the only difference.
The one in Ohio is the one you guys are trying to convince me to use, right?
Oh yeah. 7-day fucking turnaround, dude. 7 days.
Yeah, they're.
I know, but I have to deal with the fucking.
Your books show up like the bitch from The Ring, dog.
Who's doing what?
I said your books will show up like the bitch from The Ring.
Yeah, if I can, once I get set up, that I can fucking drop ship. But I don't have that big of an audience in the U.S. yet. I got to deal with my PEI.
Yeah. If
You
they're
ever
a
see the
big
movie The Ring?
establishment,
The movie, the what?
The Ring
Yeah.
with the bitch and the
Me.
TV.
No,
it's a
no. Oh
it's a
yeah,
creepy
the bitch
girl.
in the TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're gonna die, and she comes out and she goes 7 days.
Yeah. This is my
And
fourth
she fucking shows up.
one of. This is my fourth one of these, so I'm like a little slow.
Nice. Tasty, tasty.
Local
Yeah, they're
brewery.
the only bad
Local.
thing
I'm gonna
about
plug. It's a local brewery right here in Fredericton. They're called Navies. They're up in the industrial park. They're fucking fantastic. And yeah, if you for whatever
Canadians.
reason you're in Eastern Canada, go to Navies Brew. This is not sponsored. They're not paying me. If anything, I pay them way too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
The only thing with Ohio is that they're a very large printer. They're very professional. They keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
Like 5, 6 a.m. every morning, they're emailing me, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get in my, I gotta get like if I go too slow, I feel bad that they're waiting on me. They're
I
very
need
fast.
that. I need that from someone. Fuck, it's been so long. Like I miss that.
With Ready
Yeah.
Comics, I've been having problems for the past year that I've tried to use them. It's hard to get them on the phone. It's hard to get
Yeah.
anything done. I'll call there all the time, and they'll be like, "Oh, we'll have them call you back. They're busy right now. They're in a meeting." And that's what they did this time too. I was calling for 2 days, and oh, Greg's busy. I think they told me that he was in a meeting with Emma when I first called, and it was, "Oh, he's busy. He's tied up right now. He's in the middle of something right now." So we didn't even know he was on vacation until at the very end of it all, because the whole time they were making it sound like he was still in the building, just ignoring him. And I had even texted him on my phone and he was ghosting me. So I thought that they were just straight up ignoring us. And I mean, they kind of were, honestly. They just kept giving us a runaround. Emma
Yeah.
also would just not return my phone calls, and she'd email me shit.
Well, that was again like just that was the impression I got. It was 12 minutes into that phone call before he was straight up like, I need to review it to see whether or not there's hate speech. And then in not trying to define hate speech, he kept bringing up the fact that you've been attacking Toledo on social media.
He said we have attacked.
I know that's the way he phrased it. I'm sorry.
Right. But he said we have attacked multiple people that he's worked with. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
We have attacked multiple people that he's worked with. Who? And what constitutes an attack? This is my biggest thing, dude. Like,
yeah,
is telling somebody what's going on who is a third party an attack.
Well,
because that's all we're doing. We're saying, hey, this is what's happening. We're explaining to people this is what's going on. How does that become an attack?
Yeah, that's just it. Like, you can sit right there. You can sit there in a chair and you can sleep like a baby, just being like, okay, I will not deny the fact that a couple of your clients, I may have made their lives harder, but publicly, I never did anything beyond quote them. Full stop.
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't do shit except quote them.
Or
holding people accountable.
Write an article explaining the behavior that they did and just showing people. You know, it's like it's so frustrating.
When he said he had to review your material before it was going to go to print, you guys should have known that in advance. For one thing,
look, this right here is what caused it. An ad that has this image on it right here.
I can show you the exact image. It's there's nothing in that image whatsoever that's hate speech.
And
I agree with you, Ryan. I agree with you, Ryan, in that
thank you.
The weird part was, how did he know about the online controversy? And he did not also want to be called just a printer, which means I was trying to ask, like, okay, then what are you?
Yeah,
he said, no, we're not a printer. Okay, well then what the fuck am I? I've been fooled for 10 years thinking you printed it. Then what?
Like, exactly.
This is clown world, and what's annoying is that
it's not only like, do you print shit? It's like, what do you print? Like, don't even they said we print some raunchy stuff, yet that image of Polito saying cease and desist, that was stopped. But they'll print the raunchy stuff, but that image, no raunch. That is zero raunch.
Too offensive.
That image right there could be hate speech.
Too politically hot.
we're gonna need to review
Full stop. Yeah.
a handout that says cease and desist on it. We got to review that.
And the fact that he was tuned into the controversy before he left the country, and he left saying, because they didn't even know if there was going to be an ad in this book when they started quoting me. So that means Greg
Not at all.
left the country, and Star Wars is like 2 or 3 months away from being printed, and he told his staff, by the way, if Mike and Mindy ever submit anything Star Wars, put it on hold. Like, what the you're way
I'm
too
not
tuned
gonna
into Facebook, man.
assume that was a conversation, but something to the tune of that. I'm sure they were looking for something. Definitely.
He cares way too much about what people think, apparently. This was the ad, if you can see it. This was the ad that they didn't want to print. It's just that it says parody satire right there. Parody satire, Star Wars, issue 1, episode 4, New Ho.
Right there.
He's got the cease and desist, and then it's just got a picture of all the covers. That's it. That was so controversial that they almost they're not printing it now, but they almost stopped printing all of the G-Busters books over.
So you guys didn't actually you guys didn't send over a copy of the cease and desist. It was just got a cease and desist, as a note. You know what I mean?
I didn't tell them about the cease and desist.
Oh, you didn't? That wasn't even in the fucking ad.
No.
There's nothing. That was just something you pulled the thumbs up.
And
Okay.
that's why it's like, okay, that's the difference between our printer in Ohio and you. Because if I went to my printer and they've seen it, they're almost done printing the first round of books already. They're asking me, hey, can I ship this already? Like, they're so fast, man. And I had given my files to them, by the way, the same time I gave them to Ready Comics, and we were fussing about a quote for a week, and it was so slow. So I can't recommend Ohio enough. And they saw it, and I called them actually, and I explained. I said, this is what's going on with my other printer. So I need to actually add books to my order because now I'm scrambling and I have to figure out how to do these other books I was going to get. Can you do them? Can you fit them in this order? I know you're lightning fast and you're already started production, but is there time? And they've been so awesome to work with. And she said, we don't care who we offend. And they've looked at the art. They've approved the art. So the difference is that Greg is all wrapped up in this cease and desist that he didn't even hear from us. So who did he hear it from?
Exactly.
And in advance.
Yeah, we didn't tell them about it.
My Ohio printer doesn't know shit because it's not their business to know. They're not sticking their nose in everybody's business online.
And he like Larry said, he said, well, they probably dug through your social medias and they're paying attention to what you say online, so on and so forth. Yeah, okay. Why is my printer monitoring what I say online? And then Larry's going to be like, well, because that's how the world works, Mike. People don't just do what's black and white. People fucking do what they feel, and that's how things are supposed to work, is by people's feelings, and you got to consider other people's feelings and what you say, and you have to be professional, or people aren't going to fucking work with you.
The definition of professional is fulfilling that contract. That's it. You can do whatever the fuck you want in the meantime.
Right? I don't know half the people that I do business with, or their personal lives, or what they do.
Exactly.
I mean, like your personal life, I don't really know much about it. We talked a little bit backstage
we talked
earlier
about it for
today.
half an hour in the green room.
But but when it comes to it, like you do work for us, and like I don't know much about your personal life. I don't dig into what you do, what you say online, what you talk to with other people. I don't tell you who you can be friends with. I don't say, oh, well, you can't work with this company or you can't work with that guy. I don't do that shit.
No, not at all.
And that's how business is supposed to work. What does it have to do with business? It doesn't.
I'm with you. Like I said, I'm surprised by you said that printer's been running for over a decade. Yeah, and they still that just I don't know. That seems really strange to me. Like I said, they didn't tell you up front, but he was going on vacation. They didn't tell you up front the stuff had to be screened. It was just everything's good until it's not, and we'll tell you when you get angry at us. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I've told you
that's bad customer service. Like that's That's bitch at Old Navy hiding in the back because she's nervous. Like that's just awful. I'll call it what it is.
Well, I've told you before how stuff works, like with like our history and stuff, and people that were attacking us and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's that whole Arizona mentality. They're all right there in Arizona. It's like a little circle and shit.
It's Old Boys Club.
It's like the fucking comic mafia over there, dude. I'm telling you, like they all work together, they all do the same stuff, and they all hang out together. Right? I mean.
Yeah.
It's all the same group of fucking people, you know, Jesse James, Brian Polito, Sean Hodachko, and then all the people that work for all those fuckers. And then you have the Phoenix Comic Con and all the Red Army that works for them. I already said
it's similar. I think it's the same everywhere. It's similar up here, just smaller. But I'm not gonna fucking name names because I'm playing that game too.
I've heard Larry bitch about the people up there. In fact, he was removed from ECCC for a long fucking time. Because of some shit that he did, the Vic Magnolia thing, I think. Yeah. And you know,
I haven't done ECC.
What blows my mind more than anything is someone that went through something like that, and then him turning it around and doing it to other people consistently.
Exactly. That's the part that pisses me off too. Is that like he was a fucking up and comer. He rode the coattails of fucking parody shit to be able to all this other and I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know if he's ever done parody. I think he's only done Niobe. I don't know if he's ever done anything else.
Oh, we're talking about Larry again. I thought we were talking about I thought we were talking
Brian.
about
But yeah,
Brian's crazy. Yeah, Brian too. Like Brian built his business on parody comics. I think he's.
I don't know much
parody
about Larry.
comics.
I've only interacted with Larry once, and that was on a show with you. And I'm actually going to be sharing a convention space with him tomorrow. It's going to be the first opportunity to meet him in person.
Oh, great. You know what? Now that you're on the show with us, he's probably going to go to the showrunners and try to get you kicked out of the show. Watch.
He can
he
try.
threatened to do that already, didn't he? Little cancel culture prick.
He can try.
That's how he operates, dude.
Yeah, that's what it is. And that's what it is. It's a shared, the division, it used to be left and right. Now it's just kind of messy because left and right is messy. Okay. The world country's messy. And that's where this started, was 2016 with the cancel culture. And I still to this day believe that you and I, Mike, were canceled, the first to be canceled because of politics in the comic industry that I know of. And it was before being canceled was even a word. And that's why it was so shocking and traumatic. And it still like echoes to this day because it seemed so bad. They were like, oh shit, this is crazy. We all got to believe these people are evil. And it was the first instance of this widespread massive canceling. And then it happened to a cosplay show right after us. And it started happening. And then around Comicsgate it started getting coined canceling, but at the time we were canceled, it didn't have a name yet. And so all these people, it transcends the left and right, and it becomes a clear line of who's honest and who cares about truth and facts and not being censored, and dishonesty and kiss ass.
I've heard
That's
this
the
multiple
real
times,
division.
so from multiple people. So many people have come to us. Well, actually, earlier today, Phil, he came to us and he said this, and also Larry last night. Him and his friends, they were bringing this up as well. They said, "Well, the Wheelers, they do stuff, and then when something happens or someone comes back at them with a consequence of what they do, or an action after action of what they do, they play the victim." I would vehemently disagree with that.
I would too.
I don't play the victim for anyone. I don't feel victimized. I don't think, hey, you know, I poor me, I'm getting attacked. These people don't like me. The things that I say, you know, I'm such a victim. I'm a soy boy, whatever the fuck. I don't feel that way. I like to come at things and say, hey, look, this is what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And these statements are not true. You know, and I don't know how me coming back and combating the statements that are said about us turns me into me claiming that I'm the victim in these people's eyes. I don't see where that connection is. I'm just saying, hey, that's not true. You're full of shit. It's funny that you're full of shit. I'm laughing while I'm telling you you're full of shit. And that's me playing the victim. I don't get that.
I think it's more, and I will actually fucking go on record saying this. I think it's more of a crab bucket thing, where it's the way that, like, when you guys do get this pushback, you keep your receipts, you grab your receipts, you broadcast your receipts, and that's like part of. I don't fucking edit this out if you want to, but I honestly think that's part of your marketing strategy, and it's the fact that it is twofold like that a lot of people get pissy about it, and it is jealousy. It's fucking, why didn't you think of it? Like that's all there is to it. Like, because it's not the victim card at all, but it does stir attention, and they're pissed that they don't have either the spine to play that angle, or they don't have the network to play that angle. Like, I really think that's what it is. Because I've never gotten a second of these guys are fucking attacking me. I don't get that vibe from you at all.
I don't ever come out and cry about people coming at me. You know, I say, oh well, you know, like I'm transparent. You know, when something happens to us, I post it. I post it for everyone to see.
Yeah,
like, we got the cease and desist. I'm like, I'm gonna wipe my ass with this, and I'm gonna post it on the internet. And what did I do? I put it on the internet, and I was wiping my ass with it.
Yeah,
like,
no, I
it's
agree.
fucking hilarious. And like people are like, well, you know, like Phil, he said also earlier today, he said, well, people think that you attacked Polito. And I'm like, why? And he said, well, because you put when you posted the first image of Lady Darth, you put Polito eat your heart out. And I said, yeah, I did. That was fucking bait.
Yeah.
And he took it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the dumb fuck he is, he fucking took it.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't do shit. You guys are the ones reacting to stuff.
If you're gonna go fishing, use the right bait.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I'm super on your side with this. I have been since day one. Why do you think I'm still fucking here?
Yeah, it's that division line, and the line is really out of control. And that's it. It's the intolerant fucks that we all know exist out there, and they accumulate together and they lie and they lie. I was listening to that stream for a little bit too, but not for very long because I didn't feel very good last night. But that Beyond Wednesdays guy is one of the most full of shit people I've ever met. He goes back. He lives in Arizona, and he was frequenting all those comic shops. He has said that they kicked us out of Arizona, and they were all talking in every shop in the valley. And he goes off, and it's like, well, all that you're really doing is showing the world how much of a gossiping prick you are. And you never once came to us and asked for our side of the story. And he was saying that we had announced Liefeld and Jim Lee came to our show. Never happened. He said that we weren't allowing people without some membership card into our shop. That's not true. He said he spouted off all these lies, and now the newest lie that someone came onto my Facebook the other day said, "Oh well, don't lie to us, Mindy. You and Mike have been posting crap about Coffin Comics way before this happened." That's not true. I said, "Go back." And I even pulled up the search.
I think I know where he got the membership card from.
Shit.
I think I know where
VIP club.
Yes, I started a VIP club. And I was going to offer anyone in my store a VIP membership that would get them priority access to front of the line signings whenever we had a signing in the store. And I was announcing plans for that on Facebook. And it was a little card. It was a VIP card. And you know who took that idea and ran with it and made a fucking grip of money? A month after I announced it, John DeMaya, the System of a Down guy that runs Torpedo Comics, he actually took in Vegas. Yeah, he took that idea because I told him about it at San Diego, and he took it. He did it in his store, and he made a fucking mint. He was selling VIP memberships, offering front of the line access to all his in-store signings and stuff. Of course, he got a lot bigger names. He had like Jim Lee and fucking Robert, John Romita Jr., the guy that can't fucking draw, what's his name? Frank Miller.
You can't say that. It's true, but you can't say that.
yeah, I can say that. You can't fucking.
Why can't we say it?
Miller. If you ever see this, man, all right. No, like I
love him. I think he's
I have a lot of respect for your career, dude. But like back to rereading Sin City, don't draw every fucking brick, man. Like, don't do it. Just imply the brick wall's there. Like, it's hard to look at it. It really is. You're good at what you do, but fuck.
I love Frank. You know, I mean, he's very talented. He's had a huge career. You know, but I don't like his art. I think he draws like shit.
But you're not supposed to say these evil things. That's a personal attack. Your opinion is the wrong thing, Mike, and you cannot
I'm
say
sorry.
this.
I'm sorry.
Wrong
You know,
thing.
some
Just
people
don't
like
draw any
Coke,
breath.
some people like Pepsi. I don't know. You know, maybe I'm gonna go to hell.
It's a lot of information in like weird places. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I will admit to that, and that's coming from my hack ass.
I
I call
like
myself a
the
cartoonist
crowd.
because it's easier.
I like the crowd. I like you, Ryan. I like the crowd that we've surrounded ourselves with. The thing with this other crowd that thinks it's opposite land all the time, and really truly believe in a total opposite reality than we do.
Yeah.
They don't see the world that we do. We've been broken free of the chains of victimized. We broke the chains, okay, years ago by being canceled in the first place. So there's no victim card being playing here. I am happy to call out all the bullshit, and I'm happy to get flack for it too. I don't care, because the other thing that opposite land crowd doesn't understand is they're very, very wrapped up, just like Greg was. He said he's obviously so concerned about what happens on Facebook, right? I don't appreciate this blow up on Facebook and the online controversy. And Mike and I have totally pulled out of that, and we focus on books and the fans and logical thought processes. So it's like these people don't even matter to us, but I don't think that they understand that they don't matter to us, and maybe it hurts their feelings or something. But I'm really happy with the fan base we have. Our fan base thinks just like us, really. We have very little problems. It's very
That's the
easy
beauty.
to get along.
That's the beauty of
that was going to be the next topic of conversation. Before we get there, I want to read this. You guys are not back in Arizona, are you? Thank goodness, no. We left Arizona and we will never go back. Oh, no, that's too fucking hot anyway. I don't like the heat. But yeah,
I grew
the
up
next
there,
topic
and
was, you know, are we fucking, what are we doing here as creators? Like, you have your own book, right? And we have our set of books. And like, what's the goal of all this? Is it a goal to sell books to other creators, or is it the goal to sell books to customers? Like, what are we here for?
I'm selling books to anybody who'll fucking buy it.
Right, but I mean, do creators buy books? Some, yes, admittedly,
Yeah,
maybe.
some.
But
That's
for
definitely
the most
not.
part,
Yeah.
I don't
supposed
see.
to be busy drawing.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't see a lot of people that are creating this stuff.
Yeah.
So buying our stuff, I don't see a lot of people that create stuff buy our stuff.
Yeah, same here, really.
So I mean, what are we really doing here? Are we here to be friends with each other and like make this some kind of fucking gigantic circle jerk? Or are we here to run a business and to sell to consumers?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they bring this point up a lot. They're like, "Oh, well, this is the comic book community," and like Greg said it on the phone call. I don't think the community needs this. What fucking community is he talking about?
Right,
His little group of friends, his friends.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck that. This isn't a fucking Stephen King novel. It's not a small town in the 80s. Sell your shit. Sell your shit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, why do we have to? Why are we forced to be friends with everybody and have this some illusion that we all give a fuck about one another? Which, I mean, to be honest, I know most people don't.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because everybody always complains, especially on that side. They'll even say it too. They'll go, "Well, this industry has so many problems. It's so toxic. Why is everybody being so fighting all the time?"
Oh, they
I
fucking all
equate it
do.
to the Office Space guy. Anchorman. Loud noises. It's my favorite way to put it.
Yeah, they all do. They all do. God damn, man. Like, you don't hate your job?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, well, they'll say that, but then they won't actually provide any criticism, because the criticism they're afraid to give it because they, oh, well, this person won't like me. Well, fuck, maybe that's what this industry needs.
I love
is
that
some
comment.
criticism.
You guys
Yeah,
were
I love
breaking
that
a lot
too.
of norms, and a lot of people did not like it, which is a damn shame. Outlaws forever. That's right, man. Our first comic
yeah.
shop was the Comic Outlaws.
We're the original Outlaws.
We have built our brand since day one in the comic book industry of telling everybody to fuck off. and we did our own thing. We did it our way, and we didn't give a fuck about anybody else.
You have to. You really have to.
We weren't part of some fucking community. We weren't part of some fucking circle jerk where we had to kiss everybody's ass. We did everything our own way.
But here's the thing, and I'll come right out and say this because it's going to sound a lot better coming from me than what you guys ever tried to explain. Mike and Mindy are absolutely fantastic at helping other startup creators. They give a really good platform. They coach a lot, and they get people more engaged with the professional network that is this side of the industry, which a lot of people don't see because they don't see all this hand holding, oh, you're great bullshit, right? Like, it's really, you got to work for it. And Mike and Mindy are really good at giving people who are willing to work for it a platform to do that. And I guess most people just don't want to put the work in. And that sounds sour, but like, I met these guys out of fucking nowhere, and they actually invited me in. Actually, Mike originally sniped me from another project I was volunteering on, and asked me if I could bail on that project, and he was going to pay me to join Comics Illustrated. So that's how I got in with these guys. And for what that's worth, I think that's fucking awesome. It's not about handouts, it's not about politics. It's about, are you the guy or not, or the girl, or whatever.
Yeah, and you need to get to writing so I can pay you some more fucking money.
All right, I'll do that. We gotta do the fucking. I thought we were gonna switch over to the podcast thing, but yes, also.
Well, we are, but I mean, the website's still going. Like, I mean, the website's there.
Yeah. But now, since we're here, and I've been dragging the ball on a couple things, and I see there are comments, which means there are fucking viewers. LCS is currently open. That's I think it's called Last Comic Shop. That's by John Westhoff. Looked that up on Kickstarter.
I backed it this morning.
And the other one that's coming out right now is Cargo by Antonio. I can't remember his fucking name, and that one's a little bit hard to find. So I gotta get that article up. And I don't know why I brought it.
Pinguino is also up. It looks really good.
Which one?
It's called Pinguino.
Pinguino. I don't think I've seen that yet. But LCS, I've had a hard on for LCS for fucking 8 months.
Me too. I backed it. I got the metal cover.
Nice. I talked
to him this morning. I was like, dude, you got to sign it.
I got the retailer distributor package. So, like, I'm buying an additional 6 copies to fucking try to move around up here.
Oh, that's good, dude. I bet they're going to sell. Because, I mean, I think that book's going to be really hot on the second.
I love the concept. It's amazing. I love John Westhoff. I've seen this work. He's a personal friend of mine. He's mailed me some, like, signed shit before. And, like, I just, I don't know. He's way up there on my fucking list.
Yeah,
guys, just does dope shit. What was the one you were talking about? Penguin something?
Pinguino.
That does ring a faint.
I saw it this morning on another show.
There's a project. I've been talking to 2 people, Steve Crompton, and gosh darn, I forgot to include him in my update this morning. I just realized that I've been so sort of off the past few days. Dealing with health stuff, but Steve Crompton's running a Demi the Demoness, and he's been fulfilling books for a long time. There's a lot of guys on Kickstarter that sit there and they put in the hard work and they fulfill the books, and I always like being able to shout out to those people. And doing Comics Illustrated was such a cool thing because we found those people. Like we've tried to come in and out of indie comics and help before, and it's been received very poorly. Some people don't understand it's funny, the people who claim community are usually the worst fucking community builders on the planet. Like the Larry Higgins of the world. But then there are actual real gems, Topher Thomas puts out a book, Philip Russert puts out books, you put out books, Ryan, and it's been cool to get to know people through Comics Illustrated that really are dedicated to this craft. I think a couple of years ago there wasn't as much going on, and we weren't connected on this bubble, but now that time has passed, we are. So it's been a lot more positive, I think. And then Izumi Fox, they do more adult stuff, more anime style. We shouted them out in Comics Illustrated before as a featured publisher. They are also running a campaign. I forget the name of it, but they're always very friendly, very pleasant to interact with. I met them on Kickstarter like a year ago. So those are the 2 campaigns I know of. Good people. Good people that I know. I don't know anyone very, very deeply and very personally. I've given a shout out before, only to have that creator talk shit about me later. So I'm a bit more selective about cross promotions now.
I'll do a self one. Joe,
Wow, I can't hear you.
I was gonna say I'll do a self promotion. Joe Eli Corrales has the first improbable girl in the Wonder Kitty.
Something just crapped out.
I can't. Check your mic. Check your mic.
Are we good?
Nope, your mic's off.
Fuck! I turned it off. I turned it back on. Still not.
Well, you might have to go to settings and then change it. Click on settings and then go select the right mic.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
So now it sounds like you're in a tin can.
Fuck.
There you go. That's right.
No, really? It's working?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So what I was going to say was Joe Corrales just put out very recently the first Improbable Girl in the Wonder Kitty / Badger crossover. It's called Lost on the Trapped Planet. I believe that's available through in a few different comic shops down in Texas right now. I don't know if you can get it online or not. And he's working on the second Badger crossover, which I think he's going to print sometime in next month. It should be out this summer, which I'm pretty fucking stoked about because I'm a narcissist. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, my ego is over the fucking moon. But if you get a chance and you're in Texas, look for it. Yeah.
That's exciting. Hell yeah, I'd be excited too, man.
Did you guys see the cover that Trish Ellis up here did? I can't remember if I sent that or not. It's this fucking wild ass, like, I think it's either alcohol marker or it's a painting on like an 11x17, and it's very like Frank Rosetta inspired, like the old Conan covers. It's just I wish I had an image. Mindy, you'll be blown away by this. Very, very talented artist from up here in New Brunswick did the cover for the book.
Oh hell yeah, I love that style.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I actually put out a hit on Joe when I found out that he, as part of the commission deal, he was mailed the original image. So that flew past me and got mailed to Texas. And I said, anybody who wants to make this man go away, I will pay for that image if you can find me that piece of paper.
Wow, that's so cool.
The one other topic I was going to touch on is to go with the flow or be a disruptor. Which one gets the better paycheck?
Well, if you're going with the flow, who's going to know who you are? I guess that's without putting any personal kind of experience in that, I'm just going to say as a logical 1 + 1 = 2, deducement of that if you go with the flow all the time, then you're obviously following somebody.
Yeah.
So what's going to pick you apart from the crowd? You maybe not be disruptor, might not be the off like the only option as opposed to that, but you can't. Right off the bat, I think going with the flow is a waste of everybody's time. You have to do something just to sell books, and maybe that means make your book the best book ever. And maybe by that you're disrupting something. I don't know, but definitely just don't go with the flow.
I wish Phil was here so he could talk about what he was talking about with me earlier behind the scenes. Unfortunately, he's on a Zoom call right now. He just messaged us and he thought we were talking about 7:30 his time, and he's an hour ahead. So time zones. And when I talk about times, I'm always talking, in my time zone. So it kind of got crossed, and now he's busy. So, but anyway, earlier we were talking with Phil, and Phil was saying, what did Phil say exactly? Something to the effect of the reason why he does things the way he does things is because it believes that, it maintains like an air of professionalism, and that like he has more respect, I guess, in the eyes of his fans and the other people in the industry and so on and so forth. And he's like really tied up into, reputation and how much it means. And I was like, well, respectfully, now I mean this in the nicest fucking way, if that were true, why do we make more money than you?
Yeah, like he is right.
He said he is right, and he said, well, because you guys sell sex. and
So?
I don't. And to that, I was in your camp. I said, well, there's also a lot of people on Kickstarter who have the same kind of, nudity cover books and stuff that also don't do as well as us. Explain that.
Yeah, it was an interesting topic you guys were talking about. And for the record, we like Phil. We got no
Oh yeah, I
problems with
love
Phil.
Phil.
Even in this, we debate with Phil. I'd say off and on, and there's no issues having opposite opinions. So that's cool.
Like, I 100% agree, especially in the seats that we're in, whether you're, if you want to put on the publisher hat or if you want to put on the fucking illustrator hat or you want to put on the writer hat, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is all absolutely reputation based, but that reputation lies in ultimately one thing. Can you deliver on what we expect of you? That's it.
Right.
That is it. End stop. So it has nothing to do with fucking politics. It has nothing to do with fucking palm greasing, hand holding, worried about people's sensitivities, trying not to piss off other people in the industry. Like, none of that has anything to do with professionalism. I bought your book. Can I get the book? Yes. Done. Like, that's really fucking it. Anything beyond that's completely overthinking it, or it's just somebody projecting some shit onto you.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, and he said, well, why don't you come out with something that is, original, that doesn't have any nudity in it? And we are. There's something in the pipeline called Puppet that's going to be coming out, and it doesn't have any nudity in it. It's a straight up horror story, and it's really good. And
so you're telling me Puppet isn't sexual?
No.
All right, you've lost my interest.
Yeah. Well, when you see it, you're going to regain that interest very quickly. It's good. It's going to be really good.
I think it's gonna be cool. Yeah.
And I wanted to do something that didn't have, any parody aspect, and also didn't have any nudity in it. That way, I have other stuff too. That's just one aspect of what we do. I mean, hell, I don't think Trip Story had any nudity in it. I think there was some on the cover of one of the variant covers we offered, but inside the book there was none. So,
well, there was a naked Barbie on a strip pole in one panel, which was
Barbie
funny.
naked is not porn. It's
yeah,
a
I know.
Barbie.
It's a doll. Yeah, I know. It's funny. It was a silly moment. But I also want to say, just for the record, nudity and attractiveness. If you go too far down the rabbit hole and say, well, you can't sell anything sexy, you're basically saying you have to provide all family friendly content and cut out that aspect completely. And if you go into adult content, well, it's adult content, but you can't have sexiness in it, then you're kind of falling into the feminist trap of, oh, well, you have to change their clothes to be baggy, you have to flatten their chests and
then
make them look like a man. So
if you really want to shut the conversation down and just kind of like suck the air out of the room, you get to play the Define Sexy card and just watch everybody look at their cues. There's not allowed to be sexy. What does that mean to you?
Define sexy. What is sexy? What is a woman? What is hate speech? These are all good questions.
Now who looks like an asshole?
And that's not talking about Phil. Phil does more family friendly stuff. And,
and
I understand
I'm not picking on
there's
Phil.
kind of I'm not thinking of Phil either, but I will say comics have historically always been exaggerating people's attractiveness because it's fiction. So I think that sex is one thing to sell, but yeah, like Mike said, it's not going to be, at least in everything we do. So that is a good litmus test. Is that the right kind of test? And Phil said the same thing. He said, put something up, see how it does, see how much money you make, and see if it's really the sex that sells it. So that's a cool challenge.
And even if it turns out that it is, like so what? The answer just means sell more sex.
No, you know what I should do is I should make a bet.
I agree with you.
I made a bet years ago, and the bastard didn't fucking adhere to it. So I don't know about bets. I made a bet with Chad Harden back in the day when Trump was running. I made a bet with Chad, and I said, if Trump wins, you have to get on your knuckles, I'm a pussy ass bitch, on both your knuckles, right there on your hands, tattooed.
Yeah.
And he shook my hand. He made the bet, and he never committed. He never followed through. But anyway, that's
I
another story.
wonder how much he'd pay me to absolve that debt for him. I'll reach
So
out.
I should make
I don't care.
I
I'll
should
do
make
it.
a side bet with Phil and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to get your lips tattooed on my ass cheek if I do 30,000 on this campaign. and I'm gonna need you to plant them there with some lipstick. That way I can get the
something
outline.
trace. Something
Perfect.
trace, for sure. Yeah.
I also agree with your point on that, Ryan. You touched exactly what I said to Mike, and in that moment, I looked at him. I said, "Well, I think the demographic of people that read comics are older men now in their 40s and 50s mostly, and I think that's what they like to
hold
read."
on. I actually know this. It's I believe it's
Dude,
26 to 45.
I can fucking show it to you. Look, I just made a post about this earlier
I
today
had it at
on my
one point.
Facebook page.
I don't remember.
I will show it to you.
It's millennial dudes. Millennial dudes in the boat. Just like
Look at this right here. I will share
Yeah.
this, and you will love it. Share Facebook.
And see,
Boom. 'Cause
I think
I've got professional mode turned on my Facebook, so I actually get paid for everything that I post on Facebook, which is, people probably don't know that, but I do.
I have
And,
professional mode turned on too, but I don't have the following.
I do.
Can I
And
have
it
some?
says, yeah, I could give them to you. Yeah, I'll send them your way.
Some of your peeps. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't mind. But look, right here, I made a post and I said, for me to have demographics like this, there seems to be way too many oversensitive cunts. Look at that right there. 18 to 24, 8%.
Yeah.
25 to 34, about 25%, give or take. Let's see, 35 to 44 is 25%. 25 to 24 is about 25%. 55 to 64 is about 10%. 65 and older is smaller.
So what's
and
cool about
mostly all
that?
male too.
And look at that,
cool-
91.5% men, 8.5% women.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Brian.
No, I was gonna say what's cool about that, other than the gender divide, for the most part, I mean the swing between the men women thing's a little bit wider, but that is pretty much what comic book sales look like over the past 8 years, and I've dove very deep into this, and mine are actually pretty similar too. But I think the woman side of it's like closer to 25% with me, but we'll see how long I can keep that up. And of course, I don't have the base.
Well, now it'll probably grow. They always
You
want what
think?
they can't have, right?
You think? We'll see. Until I keep running my fucking mouth.
Well, what I think that shows is, so I think there's another
You're probably
layer
going to
of
get
this
more
debate with
women
Phil.
throwing their ass your way than you've ever fucking seen.
Well, now they have to buy me a drink because I know it's a fucking option. See, this is how you lose followers, baby. I don't know. It's a game.
Fun fact. If I was at a bar and a woman came up to me, or I went up to a woman, they'd buy me a drink too.
There you go.
Fun fact.
Yeah, he did that. He didn't buy women drinks when we met. He
Never.
didn't buy me a drink
Never.
either. No.
Seriously?
No,
Damn.
I don't do that. I don't do
Well,
that.
he's got game.
No, I don't do that.
Well, he's got cheap ass game.
It
No,
might
man.
have made women want him more. I bet you that's what the result was.
Oh,
They'd be
is
like,
that what
"Why
it
isn't he
is?
buying him a
Okay.
drink?" Yeah, I bet it was, wasn't it, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had already bought my own drink. I was sitting with my own drink when we met. We met at an Irish pub, and his group came in there celebrating a birthday, and they were introducing me. Like we said hi or whatever, and I shook his hand, and it was a cool moment because it was like time stood still. I'll never forget that moment. We just looked at each other in the eyes and we said hi.
Fuck up.
What?
No,
Oh
keep
no, your
going,
mic
keep
went out
going.
again. Oh, okay. No, you're still there. Never mind. That was it. It's just and yeah, now here we are 10 years later. We were pretty much inseparable, pretty immediately after that.
No,
But
my mic seemed like it cut out because I was mouthing "shut the fuck up." I was being like catty. That's a cute story. That's a cute story. Keep going.
But he did not buy me a drink, and yeah, I was a bit standoffish too for a while. I was really distrusting of the dating field. It was already a shit show. You know,
No.
the dating field
It was
is
a
a
bunch
shit show for
me and
both
a bunch of
genders
old
right now, I
military
think.
guys that I used to serve with and hang out with, and it was his little brother's birthday, and he just turned 21. So we took him to the bar and shit, and then we ended up he actually ended up coming home with us, and nothing was happening that night or anything.
It was a party.
Yeah,
There
we
were
were
people
hanging
going to
out.
your house to kind of
A whole
party a little bit. Yeah, birthday party.
whole bunch of people hanging out and shit. And then she was like, "Well, she was too drunk to drive." I was like, "Dude, you're not driving. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna chill out and you're gonna fucking sleep on the couch or whatever. I'll bring you pillows, blankets, whatever you need. And nobody's gonna fuck."
I feel like we're in the back room again. We're in the green room again.
Yeah. I was like, "Nobody's gonna fuck with you here. You're perfectly safe. No, nobody's gonna fuck with you." And then my old army friend, he comes out. He's drunk as fuck, and he starts fucking with her. And I was like, "Dude, you got two choices. You can go to bed or you can go through that wall. Pick now." He made the wrong choice. He ended up going through the wall.
He did. He did. He went through the wall.
I put him right through the fucking wall, dude.
It was amazing. I've never seen a man do anything like that. He won my heart
and then
over.
Mindy just lit up and turned into a puddle. The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
He did though. He was fucking with me. He was started it, and I was telling him like, "No, go away." And he kept bugging me, and and Mike was like, "That's it." Like he cut that off real quick because he made a promise to me, and as distrusting as I was of everybody, there was just something about Mike that I trusted, that like we immediately clicked, and I believed what he was saying, which meant a lot for me.
So
And he
Mike, the kind
said,
of guy
even when he did, even when I walked in the house, he was like, "You're cool. Nobody's gonna mess with you. You're gonna be fine." And I was like, "Okay, I believe you." And he was right. So, anyways, that's our cute little we met story.
That is a fucking cute we met story. I'm not even kidding. If you guys ever renew your vows, just like call me.
We got married in our kitchen too, in our pajamas.
Jesus Christ! No, shut up! Come on. Come on.
Okay, sorry. I'll reel it back to the topic. The layer
I
of
actually have to
still.
go to because I do have a call in like real fucking. What time is it? In my time.
It's 10:46.
Yeah, it's like fucking quarter to midnight here.
Oh, so you're 2 hours ahead.
Yeah, I'm 2 hours ahead. So I think I'm gonna have to let you guys go because I gotta be up in like fucking 6 hours to get my shit together for Freddie Beach.
Gotcha.
So-
Have a good
Cool,
show.
Oh, absolutely will do. It's nice hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Unpacking some of that shit with the printer, hearing your guys' cute we met story, plugging some stuff for some other creators, and just shooting the shit. And fuck, like I don't know how long this call's been, but I've been here for a bit.
Well, shill your shit. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Badger's available on Amazon. I've got a link tree. I don't know. I'm not going to recite the link over this video, but I've got like shit all over the place. I'm the lead journalist for Comics Illustrated, so you can see all kinds of shit that I do over there on the website. And I need to get my ass together and get more of my links attached to that website. But the book's on Amazon. You can find Badger 1 through 3 collected paperback, and I'll send you guys a link again if you don't have it handy.
Cool. And we got Dead Sexy. Yeah, go ahead and send that link over and I'll post it in the chat. We got Dead Sexy on Kickstarter right now. Go ahead and click notify to launch, and we will play the ads and get out of here. You guys have a wonderful night.
Good to talk to you, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Good to talk to you as well. My phone is hot as fuck. Why?
You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. It's the saxo beat, make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. It's the saxo beat. It's the Saxo, this the Saxo beat. Say I'm a 10, I agree. Perfect personality. Wanna put me on repeat, but not go lovey-dovey. Say I'm a 10, I agree. Perfect personality. Wanna put me on repeat, but not go lovey-dovey. You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. This the Saxo beat, make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. This the Saxo beat. Oh, this Saxo beat. This the Saxo beat. You make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. This the Saxo beat, make me dance, bring me up, bring me down. Play it sweet, make me move like a freak. This the Saxo beat. This the Saxo beat. This the Saxo beat.